Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a wonderful bit of niche repertoire, and not just for what's on the disc, but also for the artist in whom the repertoire is a niche, for whom the repertoire is a niche. And that's Charles Mackerras, one of the greatest conductors of anything ever, the entire 20th century, and certainly an artist of unbelievably Catholic taste. And that's why I wanted to feature this particular album, because it's so interesting to me as an example of what was to come in his career. You know, Mackerras is known for his Baroque music, his Handel particularly, for being one of the most enthusiastic proponents of both period instrument playing and period practice. That is the art of ornamentation and all that stuff. And he made some wonderful Handel recordings for archive and other things. He did Saul and he did Israel and Egypt and other stuff like that fabulously well, and a great Messiah. But in addition to that, of course, he was also a Mozart scholar and a phenomenal performer of Mozart. He discovered Janacek for the rest of the world. He will always be remembered, not only for discovering Janacek, but also for restoring his original orchestrations and producing critical editions of his operas. I mean, really, just an amazing guy who I was delighted to have the opportunity to meet when we gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Cannes Classical Awards. What a wonderful man. And because of his Janacek associations and his studies in Czechoslovakia at that time with Václav Talik and others, he was an avatar of Czech music more generally, including Martinu and unusual Dvorak. And more than any of that, he was a proponent of the rare and the unusual. I mean, he was a phenomenal conductor of Gilbert and Sullivan, and he made a wonderful ballet, Pineapple Paul, out of lesser heard, rare Gilbert and Sullivan bits. And what you may not know is that he did the same thing with Verdi. Yes, with Verdi, in the form of this ballet, The Lady and the Fool, a 54-minute long, very serious ballet comprised entirely of bits of early unknown Verdi at the time, because this was recorded. It's in mono in 1955 with the Philharmonia Orchestra. It's a good mono sound. And you also get on this same disc the overtures to La Forza del Destino and Nabucco and Alzira. Now, there's one nobody heard of back in 1958, when Mackerras recorded that. I mean, he knew, and I know this from personal experience and speaking to him, I mean, he knew more music and than anyone in the universe. And he had an insatiable curiosity for the ephemera of the great composers, believing that, well, maybe some of the ephemera is not so ephemeral. And he was right. There's wonderful early Verdi. Of course there is, and great tunes and terrific things that are worth listening to. And so he put together this ballet. And if you look at the thing here, the contents, it actually tells you in the wonderful, incredibly tiny typewritten notes here, teensy type, what the plot is. And, you know, the plot, well, does it matter? The story of the ballet concerns the love of a penniless clown for a rich society beauty, La Capricciosa. She finally chooses a humble life with the clown, rejecting her 3 wealthy suitors and society friends. See, in the detailed description that follows, the Verdi operas from which the music of the ballet has been selected are indicated in brackets. So let me just give you a tiny example. It's really amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we've got, let's see here. There's a prologue with a prelude, an adagio. Does it say, okay. From Yves, okay, so we start with, here we go. Alzira is the prelude, which we get the overture here. And the first adagio, and see from the prologue, is from Alzira. And then something from I Vespri Siciliani, if you want to put it that way. Then we've got, let's see here, I Due Foscari, Il Finto Stanislao. Remember that? That was like, it's so early, people have forgotten about it. And then we've got, let's see, a lot of Il Finto Stanislaus. And let's see, Aroldo, which was the revised, like, French version of one of those early ones. I forget which one. Good Lord. Or something like that. Then we've got, let's see, there's more from Ernani. And let's see, so we have Geraldo and Attila and Macbeth and I Masnadieri. I mean, all of these early ballet, early operas are in here and bits, which means he had to sit down and burrow through piano vocal scores or handwritten, conductor's scores in some cases of all of this music. And nobody thinks of Mackerras in connection with Verdi. I mean, we don't. I mean, it wasn't what he specialized in. It wasn't what he's known for. But the man knew more about Verdi than most of the people who play Verdi day in, day out. And he put it together, this really remarkable ballet on Testament. And so I just want to tell you about it because I think it says something about the man. It really does. It's, he left a trail of musical curiosity and delight and wonderment in all kinds of music, which is why he was such a fabulous conductor, why he was such a great generalist, because he loved music, period. And he loved the style of music, the unique style of each composer. Really, really a remarkable man, a remarkable conductor, and he wrote some really interesting stuff besides Pineapple Paul. So if you've got time, give The Lady and the Fool a chance. You may find yourself quite surprised, and you may discover some terrific early Verdi in the process. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.